Good afternoon and welcome to the City of Jacksonville Rules Committee. Today is Monday, August 18th. Let the time reflect that it is 2 o'clock, and we will start with introductions to our left.
Garrett Dennis, the administration.
Nayeli Jimenez, Council Research.
Carla Lopera, Office of General Counsel.
Trista Caraher, Council Auditor's Office.
Randy White, District 12.
Terrence Freeman at Large, Group 1.
Mike Gay, District 2.
And Michael Boylan, District 6.
All right, thanks so much. And Councilman Salem is here. He'll be here in a little bit. Just took a call. Obviously, I'm not the chair, Councilman Miller. I am vice chair, but I'm flying the plane today, so I will try to keep it as he's been doing it with one pivot. We got a pretty heavy agenda, so I'm going to, go through our agenda first and then have public comment at the end, and we'll give you your full 3 minutes at the end. Today, we're going to take up the appointments first. Then we're going to legislation, and if Councilmember Peluso comes down and Council President Carrico come down, we'll take up their bills first, and then we'll take up the rest of the bills in order, and it'll go as such. On page 2, item number 1, 2024-0627 will be deferred. Item number 2, 2024-0966 will be deferred at the request of Councilman Carrico. The first one was at the request of Councilman Diamond. Our first action item will be item 3, 2025-0011. That action will be for withdrawal. Item 4 will be deferred. That's 2025-0472 at the request of Councilmember Gaffney Jr. Item 5, 2025-0473 will be amend move. Item 6 is an appointment. We'll be taking that up. Item 7 is deferred, 2025-0522. Item 8 will be an amend move. Item 9 will be an amend move. That's 2025-0528. Item 10 is an action item. We'll take that up. 2025-0529. Item 11 we'll take up. 12 we'll take up. 13 will be amend move. Item 14 is deferred. That'll be at the request of Councilmember Peluso, and I see him here. So when I get through going through the agenda, or matter of fact, I'll just do that right now if you want to just share a few things real quick.
Thank you, Chair, and I appreciate the opportunity. So this morning at Neighborhoods, chaired by Councilmember Gay, the request for a deferral of this bill was kind of brought up rather than potentially see it not get over 4 votes. There were some concerns by members of the committee about how much public support there really was within the business improvement district area. So, the key stakeholders that were here obviously are still very much in support. I spoke with them. We're probably going to defer for about a month while we try to get more sort of letters of support and kind of do a little more of what I think Councilmember Salem was kind of asking for, which is, a little bit of, hey, show me the properties, show me if they're vocally in support or not. So we're going to move forward doing that, and I intend to kind of speak with more and more business leaders to make sure that people get a little more comfortable with it. I understand, especially when we look at the Hogpen Creek, special district, that some people may look at the after effect of that and scratch their head and say, let's make sure we don't do that again. Fully understand that. What this is going to be is going to be very similar to Downtown Vision. So we've really kind of been spending the past 2 years talking with members of the community, talking with the business leaders. But I understand, because it's the first time you guys are really seeing it and taking action on it, there might be another question or concern that you guys have, and I'm very willing to have those conversations to make sure that more of my colleagues feel comfortable. That's about it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Chair.
No worries. What's that? Would you like to comment on it? I'm going to limit the debate on the deferred item. So, and I promised him as well. But if I open it up, then I'm going to open it for everyone. I'm good with it. But then he's deferring it. Okay. All right. Item. You good, Mr. Councilman Peluso? Yeah. Item 15, 2025 as an action item. Item 16, action item. 17, action. 18, 19, 20. And 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Action item 29 will be deferred at the request of Councilmember Amaro. 30 is action, 31, 32, 33 is amend move, 34, 35, 36, 37, And then seconded, we have 38, 2025-600, 2025-601, 2025-608, item 41 on page 20, 2025-611, 612, 614, 615, 616, 617, 618. We're back to action items. 48 for action, that's 619, 49 is up for action, 50 is for action, and 51 is for action, and that takes us to the end of the agenda. Are there any questions or anything that needs to be moved up? I don't see the president here, so with that being said, we're going to take up our appointments. The first one is on page 4. Item 6, 2025-0477. I got a motion and a second on it. For those who aren't familiar with me, I butcher names, but I'm going to do my best to try to get through it. This would be the appointment of John Trevathan. Is what I'm going to go with. That's what I'm going to go with today. Duval County resident, member of the Homelessness Initiative Commission. If you don't mind coming forward. It's been moved and seconded, and just share a little bit about yourself and how to pronounce your name properly.
Aaron, she did as well as anybody
Let's go.
does. So it's a long A in the middle, Trevathan, but appreciate the opportunity. Good afternoon, honorable members of the Rules Committee. I am John Trevathan, VP of Corporate Services at Guidewell, and look forward to the prospect of a position on the Homelessness Initiatives Commission. And I appreciate the opportunity to share my qualifications and vision with you today. As a longtime resident of Jacksonville, I've always been passionate about helping others and making a positive impact on our community. My background in mentoring and assisting those in need has given me a unique understanding of the complexities of homelessness and the importance of addressing its root causes. I'm drawn to this commission because I believe that it has the potential to drive meaningful change in our city's urban core. For too long, safety concerns have hindered economic growth and development in this area. And I believe that the Homelessness Commission can play a critical role in addressing these concerns. In my view, the solution to homelessness is not just about providing temporary fixes, but about creating a comprehensive and sustainable system that addresses the underlying causes of homelessness. This requires a strategic and coordinated approach that integrates the resources and expertise of our city's many nonprofit organizations. As a member of the Homelessness Commission, I would focus on 3 key areas. First, developing a strategic plan that brings together the many stakeholders and organizations working on homelessness issues. Who and how the plan is developed remains a question in my mind, but its swift development and implementation is essential. Second, ensuring the commission funding is deployed effectively and efficiently to support evidence-based programs and services. And third, integrating the resources and expertise of our city's nonprofit sector to create a seamless and supportive network of services for those in need while downsizing the number of people in need. I believe that by working together, we can create a safer, more vibrant, and more prosperous urban core that benefits the members of our community. I'm excited about this opportunity to serve on the commission and contribute my skills and experience to this important work. Thank you for considering my appointment.
Thank you, Mr. Trevathan.
You got it.
I got it. In the queue, Councilmember Salem, you recognize.
Thank you, Chair. I had a very good discussion with Mr. Trevathan and covering the items in the budget that are being paid for homelessness, and my role, as I see it, for the Homeless Commission. He understood it, agreed with it, and I think he will be an excellent choice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And you can have a seat. Thank you so much.
Thank
Seeing no one else in the queue, thank you for putting yourself forward and volunteering. Please open the ballot and record the vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approve 2025-0477. Now, if you go to page 11, item 16. This is 2025-0541. It's been moved and properly seconded. Can we have Mr. Golden please come up? And this is for the appointment of Percy J. Golden II as Director of the Fire and Rescue Department.
Sir.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Percy Golden, looking forward to working with you all, hopefully get through this appointment process. But I am hoping to lead this fire department into a new era. Been on the job for 22 years, actually just August, 22 years. Started out, of course, as a firefighter, born and raised here in Jacksonville, Florida. Kind of followed my dad's footsteps. He's a retired fireman as well. Kind of followed his footsteps into this role. Came my job as a firefighter, kind of moved up the ranks as engineer, lieutenant, and then, of course, captain, and then transitioned to the administration in 2019 in emergency preparedness. During that time, that was right before COVID, so I had the opportunity to work with a lot of stakeholders during that time and assist in trying to get the city through that deal. Then transitioned into grants, did a lot of stuff with grants management, so budgeting and things like that during that time as well. And with the fire service, and then deputy chief of emergency preparedness as well. So just had the opportunity to, like I said, work with a lot of stakeholders. Looking forward to continuing that role and kind of leading this department forward. My stance on that is, hey, I may be leading the department, but the men and women are the ones that's actually out there doing the job and doing this. So I'm looking forward to having input from them for whatever decisions I make. I think I had a lot of discussions with folks on the council about that and the leadership of the department. That's a goal of mine. A big priority of mine this year is we got ISO coming up next year. So that's a big priority of mine to make sure we still get that Class 1 rating. That helps a lot of the citizens out in everyone's district. It saves the citizens about $300 to $400 million. So looking forward to hopefully continuing that as well. But look forward to feedback from you all and look forward to having an opportunity to lead this department.
Thank you so much. And to Councilman White, when he says ISO, that's for insurance stuff. I know you're not very familiar with a lot of stuff with the fire department. Matter of fact, you're first up. So Councilman White, you're recognized.
Thank you. And through the chair, I just want to say to Chief Golden how proud I am of him. And I won't speak on the other two, but I feel the same about Chief Blanton and Chief Cook. Good people, right people at the right time to keep this fire department moving forward. It is the best fire department in the country. And those are the three that'll keep it moving that way. And appreciate you, Chief. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Boylan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Notwithstanding the comments of my colleague, Mr. White, Chief White, just kidding. I very much enjoyed all three conversations I had with you folks, and I'm still looking forward to that org chart, so send it to me, please.
Yes, sir. Yep.
I'm very impressed with all three, and I just wanted to offer that, and I had great conversations, and thank them all for that.
Thank you for that. Councilmember Gay, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd just like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Please add Mr. Gay, Councilmember Gay, and myself as well as a co-sponsor. Councilmember Salem, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I had very good discussions with all three. I was particularly intrigued by Ms. Cook and her history as a black female coming up through the fire department, which was fairly unique when she came on, and supportive of all three, so I'll just speak once.
Thank you. And seeing no one else in the queue, Mr. Golden, thank you so much for your service to our city and to all of the men and women that are running to the fires, running to the fight when the rest of us are running away. Your resume, and you responded to my questions, and I appreciate you all doing that. Your resume speaks for itself. You're highly qualified and prepared and equipped for this position. And there's a saying that a wise person once shared with me is what they see, they will be. And you stand on the shoulders of giants, and you got a lot of little Percys in classrooms watching, and I know you're going to make them proud and make us proud. So blessings as you continue to serve. With that being said, please open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-041. Did I say something wrong? No. Oh, okay. Next one is page 12, item 17, 2025-0542. Got a motion and a second. Mr. Blanton, if you don't mind coming down. Jacob W. Blanton as Deputy Chief of the Fire and Rescue Department.
Hey, good afternoon. As you said, Jacob Blanton. I go by Jake. I've been with the fire department since 1994. Started as a 911 dispatcher. Did that for a few years, transitioned to the field, and the last 28 years I've been kind of in a field role. The last 10 years specifically, I've been at headquarters in an administrative role. Spent some time in quality improvement back in our communications center. An assistant chief, a deputy rescue chief. The last 2 years, I served as the division chief of rescue, overseeing our 63 frontline rescues. I'd say during the last 2, 3, 4 years, I'm involved in a number of projects, kind of special projects, I'd term them. CORE, Project Save Lives, the PATH program, critical care paramedic, the mobile stroke treatment unit or transport unit. So had a good time last few years, kind of involved in these new projects, which is kind of deviates from the standard old school fire rescue profession. But with your support, look forward to kind of continuing that momentum and obviously supporting Chief Golden and his priorities, and looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Salem, you recognize.
Thank you, Chair. I was pleased to hear in the reorg that's going on that Deputy Director Blanton will be continuing to supervise the opioid program as well as the PATH program, which is important to all of us, but ones that I've been very involved in, and I'm pleased to hear that. So we'll have that continuity going forward. Thank you.
Thank you for that, and thank you, Deputy Chief, for your service as well. Please add me as a co-sponsor. Seeing no, Councilmember Gay, will you add us all, please, as co-sponsors? Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Five yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0542. Staying on the same page, item 18, 2025-0543. All right, I got a motion and a second, and this one is the mayor's appointment of Melisha Dallas D. Cook as chief of the rescue division of the fire and rescue department. If you don't mind coming down and just sharing a little bit about yourself.
Good afternoon, Vice Chair and members of the committee. I am Dallas Cook, and it is an honor for me to stand before you guys today as a nominee for the Division Chief of Rescue of Jacksonville Fire Department. I want to begin by expressing my gratitude to Mayor Deegan as well as Fire Chief Golden for their commitment, for their confidence in me and my ability to run the Division Rescue. I proudly served the community of Jacksonville through JFRD for the last 16 years. I promoted through the ranks as firefighter up to captain and have this opportunity to be a nominee for the Division Chief of Rescue. Throughout my time with the fire department, I've served in a number of our divisions. I've served as our one of the lead members for our apprentice program, as well as being a longstanding member of our peer support program. In 2023, I left the streets and came to the Emergency Preparedness Division, where I had the opportunity to lead several initiatives like our registry for the endangered and vulnerable and missing populations. That is a really, really, really important program to our community to serve individuals that are vulnerable or suffer from cognitive or sensory issues. It allows them to volunteer for this registry and better prepare JSO as well as JFRD in the event they are lost, to help us search for them. If confirmed today, I'm excited about collaborating with council as well as other entities throughout Duval County to move our fire department forward.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Cook. And seeing no one in the queue, I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor. As a father of daughters, it really excites me to see glass ceilings being broken. So thank you for your service. Please open the ballot and record your vote.
Five yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0543. Takes us still page 12, 2025-0544. Can I get a second, please? Got a motion and a second. This is for Susan C. Kelly as Chief of the Community Planning Division.
Hello, good afternoon. Excuse me. I'm Susan Kelly. I'm with the Planning Department. I started with the Planning Department in 2007, and I started as a land use planner, a planner 2. And in my time with the city, I have worked most of the time in the land use section. I've also been the supervisor of the historic preservation section. I've been the supervisor of the land use section. I've worked in zoning. I also worked for a couple of years with the Downtown Investment Authority as staff to the Downtown Development Review Board. So I have seen and worked with the 2010 Comprehensive Plan, the 2030 Comprehensive Plan, the 2045 Comprehensive Plan. And I have a lot of experience across the board with land use and rezoning and all of those things. So I am hoping very much to become the chief of the Community Planning Division that is home to the land use section and the historic preservation section. And I think that I am ready to take on that position, and I look forward to continuing in that role.
Thank you so much. I'll bring this back to the committee. Anyone like to say anything? If not, one, thank you for putting yourself forward, and wish you the best. Please open the ballot and record the vote.
Five yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0544. And I believe I'm supposed to say that you all will be recognized at the next council meeting as well, if you choose to attend, but it is not mandatory. Next will be page 14, item 28, and that is 2025-0556. We got a motion and a second. It's the mayor's appointment of D.R. Repass Esquire to the Planning Commission as the at-large rep.
Good afternoon. I'm D.R. Repass. Unlike everybody else here, I don't have any in-staff experience with the city, but this, for me, is an opportunity to serve. I'm an attorney by trade. I do primarily residential and commercial transactions. I've lived in the city of Jacksonville for over 25 years. I think I'll bring some knowledge and expertise to the Planning Commission. I'm very familiar with planning process. I'm very familiar with planning throughout the city of Jacksonville and familiar with the zoning code. So again, for me, it's at this point in my life, I've got 2 kids in college and a little bit of extra time, and it's just an opportunity to serve, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much. We'll see if you'll be saying that at the end of your term. Councilmember White, you recognize.
Yes, sir. Through the chair, please add me as a co-sponsor.
Councilmember, thank you for that. Councilmember Boylan, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To Mr. Repass, I appreciated our conversation. I was glad to hear that you brought to the table a lot of experience working in this area. So you've been on both sides of the ledger. I think it's important for people to appreciate you're not there on behalf of the development community. You're there to serve because of your experience in working through the entitlement process. Can you speak to that very quickly, if you wouldn't mind?
Yes. It's not all about development. It's about smart development, and that's kind of I look at Wildlight, of course, in Nassau County, but I'm here to follow the zoning code, which I think is very important, and follow the where the city wants to go with development.
Thank you, Councilmember Salem. You recognize.
Thank you, Chair. I met with Mr. Repass just 45 minutes ago. I think he's got a wealth of experience that will be very helpful on the Planning Commission. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Seeing that no one else is in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approve 2025-0556. Thank you. If you can turn with me to page 17, item 36, 2025-0575. This is for the appointment of Kristen K. Packard to the JHFA as a finance org rep.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you this evening or this afternoon. I want to thank the Mayor's Office for the confidence that they have placed in me by virtue of my nomination. I have worked in the affordable housing industry my entire career, and I view my opportunity to serve on the Jacksonville Housing Finance Authority as really a dream come true. I've been a developer, I've been a consultant, I've served as a financial advisor and a leader of professional organizations for over 30 years, all in affordable housing finance. And this is a unique opportunity to use my skill set to further benefit the citizens of our city through the Jacksonville Housing Finance Authority, which is a very technical board, and I believe I uniquely possess those skills to serve well. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Councilmember Salem, you're in the queue.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I met with Ms. Packard, and she does have a wealth of experience that I think will serve this board in a way that many people could not. So welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Five yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0575. Now, I must say, I'm getting in my feelings just a little bit because they're all thanking the mayor for the appointment, but we're not getting thanked for our votes at the end. So I want to thank each of you all for supporting those past nominees. Moving to page 11, we've already taken care of, so that takes care of our appointments. And so this will take us to item number 1, or to our first action item, which will be on page 3, 2025-0011. Got a motion and a second on withdrawal. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've withdrawn 2025-0011. Item 5 is our next action item. That is 2025-0473 on the amendment. Got a motion second on the neighborhoods amendment. Can someone please explain the neighborhoods amendment?
Through the chair to the committee, the neighborhoods amendment clarified language regarding compliance with section 121-104 of the code. This is just regarding the actuarial statement that's required to be submitted. It will correct some scrivener's errors within the bill, and lastly, attach the actuarial statement as an exhibit to the bill.
Thank you. Seeing no one in the queue, all in favor of the amendment, say aye. Those opposed have the same right. The amendment carries. Got a motion and a second on the bill as amended. Councilmember Boylan, you're recognized.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to point out the last statement in there below the amendments with respect that there's no impact on the police and fire pension fund as a result of this change, so in case people were concerned.
Thank you for that. Seeing no one else in the queue, it's been moved and properly seconded. Please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0473 as amended. We've taken up 6, 7 is deferred. Next action item is item 8 on page 5, 2025-0523. We have an amendment. Can I get a second on the amendment, please? We got a motion and a second on the amendment. Can someone explain the amendment?
Through the chair to the committee, the amendment will update section 750-101 of the code to remove an outdated reference to the city's treatment division. This is a division that hasn't existed in many years, so we're just going to strike that, and we'll correct some scrivener's errors within the bill.
Seeing no one in the queue, all in favor of the amendment, say aye. Those opposed have the same right. The amendment carries. At this point, I believe there's going to be another amendment coming. I don't know if there's a rep from JEA or Mr. Reingold. I see you there. If someone wants to come up and explain that.
Dylan Rangel with the Office of General Counsel. Yes, thank you very much. Really appreciate the discussions we've had with the Council Auditor's Office on this bill. Just one outstanding issue I think would be helpful to correct is they've noted the elimination of the reference to the division that no longer exists, but essentially through our research of the code, there doesn't appear to be an appropriate department that exists that's referenced in here or director. So our thought was just eliminate the whole reference to the director, and then in order to preserve the city's rights to take any action under this provision, simply just have a provision that states something effective in addition to any other enforcement mechanisms that the City of Jacksonville has, then JEA can also pursue whatever actions they want to take. What that means is under Chapter 609, the City of Jacksonville does have an enforcement mechanism and can seek civil penalties on their own. I just thought that clarification would be good so that there's not confusion as to what director exists under this provision of the code, and I'm happy to answer any additional questions.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Salem.
Thank you, Chair. To Mr. Reingold, is that in writing?
I'd have actually sent an email to the council auditors on some suggested language. I'd be happy to provide it to you, sir.
Has JEA had a chance to review that?
Yes, they were actually comfortable with that language, and their representatives are here as well.
Can someone give me a nod? Okay. Even though we haven't seen the language, you're comfortable moving forward. Okay. Thank you. And if anyone needs an explanation of the bill itself, please bring JEA forward and they'll be happy to explain it.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Salem. Mr. Reingold, no offense, but he just needed that nod from the folks behind you. So that said, it's on my agenda here as well. Is there a rep from JEA that would love to come down and kind of share with us a little more about it? I know we just met on it in my office, but I try to stick to the script, so I'm sorry. And if you don't mind, on the record, saying it in the microphone that what Mr. Reingold said you're in support of.
Yes, good afternoon. Christine Valier with OGC representing JEA. And we have discussed the proposed change to Section 750.101 with Mr. Reingold and are in agreement with removing the references to both a director, which doesn't exist, as well as the Chief Treatment Division Officer. So JEA is here today. The board, JEA board has requested the city to consider an ordinance regarding its industrial pretreatment program. This program is a function of complying with the Federal Clean Water Act. It requires industrial users, in short, to pretreat their waste to remove certain pollutants before discharging to JEA's facilities. That protects JEA's water treatment facilities. The reason for the ordinance amendment specifically is because the Florida Department of Environmental Protection recently enacted rules pertaining to potable reuse. And JEA has a potable reuse project underway. It is anticipating a permit to be issued later this year. And the state, as part of that process, requires the inclusion of potable reuse regulations in a local ordinance, so that JEA's potable reuse facilities will be protected. You may be wondering what a potable reuse facility is. It is extra treatment of wastewater beyond the treatment levels that JEA currently does for irrigation water. And it will treat the water through an additional 3 processes to purify it, and then inject that drinkable water back into the Florida aquifer. And so nature will take its course, and that additional water will be used to replenish that water supply. One other facet of this ordinance request is to adopt some local limits that JEA recently had approved by FDEP. Those are local limits pertaining to the Blacksford Water Reclamation Facility that limits the specific pollutants listed on the back page of the ordinance. And those industrial facilities that feed into Blacksford will have to treat their waste to those levels. And DEP requires that those new provisions also be incorporated into a local ordinance.
All righty, thank you. And to my colleagues, if you want some really exciting and riveting conversations about, was it geology or in the aquifer, please meet with them. You'll leave there realizing how much we don't know. We're back on the amendment. So on the, did we take up Dylan's amendment?
To the chair, no one moved that amendment. Do you want me to summarize that for you all, or do you feel comfortable knowing what you're voting on?
So, all right. Yes is the answer. That's what I meant when I said we're back on it. So if somebody wanted to either say so moved or have her put it into language. Second. All right. I'm good with what he said and their support of it. Councilmember Boylan would like for you to articulate it. Add another 30 seconds.
Yes, and in writing next, I'm fine with it today verbally, but I want to see it in writing before next Tuesday.
It's not a threat, but it was asked kindly. Yeah.
Through the chair to the committee. So this would change the current legislation. It's page 2, line 15. The code currently reads that civil penalties shall be assessed by the director based upon findings certified by the chief of the treatment division. And it would change that section of code to read, in addition to any other enforcement mechanism set forth in the ordinance code, civil penalties shall be assessed by JEA consistent with the procedures developed and implemented under the JEA industrial pretreatment regulations, period. So that's the change to the code that would be implemented by this amendment that is before you now.
So that puts in the management or supervision responsibility that belongs to JEA, and it's incumbent upon their customers to provide potable water out of their systems. Is that my understanding?
Who's Councilman? Who are you directing that
I'm
to?
directing to the chair, to Ms. Christie.
Okay.
Yes, through the chair, the potable reuse is in part of JEA's mission to provide drinkable water source.
Understood. But I thought I heard you say that it's the responsibility of the people who are putting water back into the system, that it goes through your place, that needs to be acceptable to coming to you?
Yes, the industrial users, the wastewater from the industrial users.
So there's an investment on the part of the industrial wastewater users to prepare themselves to be in a position to provide you potable water. Is that correct?
Not quite. It's incumbent upon the industrial users to pre-treat their waste.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Before it gets sent to JEA's
So
water
that you can make it
reclamation
potable.
facilities.
Got it, all right. But the supervision is, and the responsibility of management is now part of JEA, correct?
You can respond to that.
Through the chair, thank you.
There you go.
Through the chair, yes.
Yeah, because I want you to talk this way, and it'll lower the tension a little bit. There we go. I believe her answer was yes. All righty. Councilmember Salem, you had questions on the amendment. Are you good? I'm good. Okay. All in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed have the same right. The amendment carries. I would like to roll those two amendments together, so I entertain a motion on the bill as amended. We got a motion and second on the bill as amended. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome, and thank you for thanking us. 2025-0523 as amended. We've approved it. That takes us to our next action item, item 9, 2025-0528 on the amendment. Got a motion and a second on the amendment. Can someone please explain the amendment?
Through the chair to the committee, the amendment will correct one of the whereas clauses regarding the fiscal 23-24 micro grant process and how those were awarded. We'll clarify the grant eligibility of these organizations, just clarifying that they are not eligible to receive other Chapter 118 funding while they remain on the non-compliance list. We'll clarify the required reports based on the dollar amounts. These would be annual financial reports, not audits that were due by these organizations. And lastly, we'll correct some scrivener's errors.
All right, are there any questions on the amendment? Seeing none, all in favor of the amendment, say aye. Those opposed have the same right. The amendment carries. Got a motion and a second on the bill as amended. Anyone in the queue? Because I have a few questions. Mr. Salem?
Thank you, Chair. We had a robust discussion on this in neighborhoods this morning. There's a long history here. Ms. Hernandez was not involved with this. It was before her term. I think there's a government failure in this process, clearly, in terms of the whole way it was handled. So, in that case, I will support moving this bill. Thank you.
Councilmember, thank you. Councilmember White, you recognize.
Yes, sir. Through the chair, and I guess you was the only one that wasn't here this morning. And in other words, what he just said is we're cleaning up our own mess that we created is what this bill is doing as a government. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And seeing no one else in the queue, a few words. One, I sponsored the legislation that led to this. So was very intimately informed of this process. And I don't know if you all remember, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, when I first found out that what I originally had envisioned, which was a 1-year, basically incubator for organizations to come through and get a micro grant, and then they have to go out and fend for their own, was extended from 1 year to 4 years, and that's what's gotten us to this point. I do have a question for anyone, either Ms. Maribel or Dr. Grass. And I know we have one of the groups here now that I could probably bring up as well. The groups that were denied, and I'm all about, we're trying to clean up government, so I want to, something still just doesn't sit right in my soul. Were those groups allowed to apply for PSG this round? The ones that were placed on the non-compliance list?
Maribel Hernandez, Grants and Contract Compliance. Any of the 8 organizations were able to apply. Only one of the organizations applied and was disqualified. One of the reasons was the non-compliance list, but there were several other reasons not related to that, and they did not appeal. So currently their application is not being scored.
Okay, so if they didn't apply, they can appeal, but if they applied and were denied, they can appeal?
If they applied and were denied, then the appeals board would have heard their appeal. And in discussion with OGC on this potential scenario, if the only reason would have been the non-compliance list and it would have gone to appeals through this legislation, the wording that was adjusted in here would have allowed them to be able to slip into the scoring if you pass this item, because there still would be time. The scoring does not end until September 17th.
Okay, and I know this predates you, so I'm throwing some questions that you may not know of. But I was going to ask, why was there no budget attached? Why did we deviate from our code in this process?
The RFP that was written was a multi-year, which, as you mentioned, was not something that you had envisioned. But the way that it was written and the way that it was executed, it was a multi-year to help these smaller organizations be able to prepare to apply for grants such as the public service grants. The way that it was written, year 1 did not require a budget. Year 1 was simply mentoring and training each month, and as they attended those trainings, submitted their completion certificates, then they would each month get a piece of the funding. So there was no budget requested or expected or required for year 1. For year 2, there was. And the reason that they would not be able to provide an annual report is because in order for Council Auditor's Office to review and approve an annual report, there has to have been an approved budget. And the way that it was written, that would never happen because there was never an approved budget required for
in the
year
RFP.
1.
So the RFP
Yes,
didn't
sir.
line up to the legislation?
Correct.
Okay. So the ones that we wanted to help, we ended up not helping them because they couldn't apply for a PSG in this fiscal year.
Mr. Chair, they all had the opportunity to apply for a PSG. I have not only KHA, Dr. Grass, and I have been working together, and we have been keeping them informed. They are aware of this, and they had the opportunity to apply for public service grants, knowing that this would be coming before the council. And if this were approved, they would be able to be scored. So they would be able to move forward if that was the only reason that they would be disqualified. Only one chose to apply.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And we do have one of the groups here. It happened to be one that I visited when a lot of the changes came. Ms. Della, would you like to come up and kind of share your experience with this or anything you would like to add? Were you aware of it? And the only reason I want to bring this up is that I know that they were paid through their first year, and we're cleaning up these 2 that weren't, which takes them to the $25,000, which was only initially supposed to be $20,000, and the ceiling was $200. And it's the subsection D that we created in PSG. So it's $0 right now. So every year it starts off at 0 in the budget process. If somebody feels, if you want to do something with opioids and workforce or something along those lines, you can advocate for dollars to go into it. That was the purpose, that was the spirit of which this legislation when I drafted it. And you'll see a bill coming through later for $200,000 that I brought over the course of time and changes, different perspectives looking at it. But Ms. Dello, if you don't mind just sharing, were you aware that you were able to apply for PSG again, or how is the line of communication going with you so far?
Good afternoon. My name is Della Sellers. I'm the founder of Girls of Virtue. So we were one of the what they called emerging leaders. So there's a couple things that kind of feel a little miscommunicated here. The first time we were told about the non-compliant list was we did receive an email from Kids Hope Alliance, but that was sent to us about a week before the PSG was due, and we were told that we would be declined for PSG. So I believe our company is actually the one she's referring to that did submit, but we never finished the application. What got submitted was not completed because we had been told repeatedly from multiple people that we would not qualify for a PSG due to the non-compliant list. Now, that communication did not come from the city. Nothing was ever sent to our organization in writing. It was sent from an email from some staff members from Kids Hope Alliance that said they noticed our name on a list and just wanted to help. And to be honest with you, when she refers to the audit part of it, I'm not a nonprofit person. I'm an automotive consultant in the industry. Girls of Virtue is my tithe. I still run a company full-time and run and volunteer our organization full-time. The amount of energy and effort that it takes to do an audit or to dispute something within that process in the first time that we did the grant for PSG took multiple days, multiple hours. It just becomes very it's very time consuming and unrealistic for the average nonprofit, especially when they're startups. And that was what this grant was originally for, is nonprofits that were new to this process, that weren't aware with how to do it. So honestly, the fact that none of them applied is likely because we were told that it wouldn't be likely we'd get approved in the first place.
Thank you for that explanation. And I just wanted to share that with you all because I want to go back to the spirit of which this was created as we all move forward and my time on the council rolls off and you all see subsection D on that. One, it was supposed to be a one-year program. It was never something to sustain organizations, which would minimize this. You're good, Ms. Thanks
Yes,
so
sir.
much. Which would minimize this confusion. And two, going from a 1 year to 4 year, one of the questions that I brought up back then was where's that funding going to come from? It went from $200,000 that was supposed to be one time to I believe it was like $283,000. I might have voted against it, my own piece of legislation at that time. And then two, you see the confusion that was just held. So now we have a group saying that the only reason one applied and then they stopped, well, they stopped because of the same reason why I created it, the challenges of dealing with government. You just said we failed them. So I'm going to get off my high horse, but this legislation that I drafted in its original form was to overcome these challenges. There was a full-time employee that Joey Grivey at the time, an FTE, placed over with them that was supposed to be a case manager and work 1 with 10. Get them through. If it was successful, bring another 10 in, 1 with 10, get them through, and it was going to be a cycle. And we're still at the same 8 or whatever 2 or 3 years later. I'm going to support this because we do need to right the wrong. But I want you all to keep this in mind because we're going to have public service grants come back to us, and they're going to be talking about micro grants, and you all have voted already on some amendments that they made. And I didn't push back on it because this part of the narrative hadn't been put out there to you all. I had all of this because these organizations were calling me. I was going and visiting them, and I see the work they're doing, and I felt their frustration. But as we get into PSG, these are the types of things that I would like for you all to kind of lean in and look into. That being said, seeing no one else in the queue, let's open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approve 2025-0528. And Ms. Stella, thank you for coming down. And if there's a way that you can get with Ms. Maribel or Dr. Grass and see if there's some type of conversation that you all can have, I greatly appreciate that as well. Next action item is item 10, 2025-0529. Got a motion second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot, record your vote. Oh, are you up? Councilman Boylan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair, I assume Mr. Salem is the head of the DOJ committee. Does this include, I assume it includes JFRD, but also JSO in terms of reporting of overtime?
It's all city departments. Yes.
Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0529. Next action item is item 11, 2025-0532. Got a motion and a second on the bill. This is what I was talking about earlier. Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approve 2025-0532. Next action item is item 12, 2025-0533. We got a motion and a second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0533. Next action item is item 13 on page 9, 2025-0534. We have a technical amendment. Can I get a motion on it? We have a motion and a second on the technical amendment. Can someone please explain it?
Yes, through the chair to the committee. The technical amendment will clarify that the funding for the Phase 1 installment grant has already been appropriated. This was $1 million that's already included in the 24-25 budget, so we're just going to clarify that within the bill. We'll correct some scrivener's errors within the bill. We'll place a revised, amended, and restated economic development agreement on file to include authorization for an administrative extension of up to 1 year. This was included in the bill, but not in the agreement, so we're just going to get those two consistent. We'll correct the base year value for the REV grant to reflect the 2024 final values. We'll clarify that the Phase 1 installment grant is payable upon the developer meeting the $9.5 million capital investment spending. There was some inconsistent language, so we're just going to get that cleared up in the agreement, and we'll correct some scrivener's errors.
Thank you. Any questions on the amendment? Seeing none, all in favor of the technical amendment, say aye. Those opposed have the same right. Amendment passes. We have an auditor's amendment. Can I get a motion and a second on the auditor's amendment? So moved. All right. Can someone please explain the auditor's amendment?
Thank you. Yes, through the chair to the committee. We have a couple auditor recommended amendments here to address one of the concerns we had with this legislation. The first auditor recommended amendment would include authorization to carry over funding for the Phase 1 installment grant through fiscal 25-26. In our discussions with the Office of Economic Development, they indicated that this might not be paid out before September 30th. So to avoid these dollars lapsing to operating reserves and having to come back with another bill, we would just ask that funding authorization be added to the bill. Secondly, we have a couple of recommended amendments for the agreement itself. The first is to require that all property taxes be current in order to receive the installment and completion grants. Currently, as drafted, the developer is only required to be current on their property taxes for the particular phase that they're seeking reimbursement for. So this would just require that they be current on all properties regardless of phase in order to get their city incentives. The second is to include a requirement that the developer be eligible to receive the Phase 1 installment grant as a condition of receiving the Phase 1 completion grant. So as drafted, there's no minimum spending required for the Phase 1 completion grant, so this would just add language requiring that they spend at least $9.5 million in order to get that Phase 1 completion grant. That would be consistent with the eligibility requirement for getting the Phase 1 installment grant. And lastly, we would recommend requiring repayment of the Phase 1 installment grant if the Phase 1 is not substantially completed. This would just be a protection for the city. Right now, all they have to do is spend $9.5 million in order to get that Phase 1 installment grant. So if that were not to get completed, we would just recommend that they would have to repay that to the city.
Are there any questions on the auditor's amendment? Seeing no one in the queue, all in favor of the auditor's amendment, say aye. As opposed to have the same right, the amendment passes. We'd like to roll those together. Can I get a motion on the bill as amended, please? Got a motion and a second on the bill as amended. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0534 as amended. Next action item is item 15, 2025-0540. Got a motion and a second on the bill. Anyone in the queue? Okay, I do have a question directed either to OGC, I guess. One, this is opening it up for more people to sit on the Planning Commission. What type of conflicts might this bring, or how do we deal with it if someone has recurring conflicts? Would they be eliminated from it? There's Mr. Reingold. Mr. Reingold, can you help me understand? Because I did have some questions regarding the makeup of what these members would look like, or what is this legislation doing?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Dylan Reingold from the Office of General Counsel. Back to the chair. So what this legislation does is it clarifies that there can be 3 members of the Planning Commission who have expertise in a particular area, much like you heard earlier today from DR Repass. So those folks would be educated and be able to practice in the disciplines of planning, design, development, or related disciplines. And so that would allow those types of folks to sit on the Planning Commission, and it would also essentially absolve them of any conflicts they would have under 112.313 subsection 7 of Florida statutes. But I turn it back over to the chair for additional questions.
Okay, and I'm just going to use this as an example. Got much love for my buddy, Mr. Harden, but this would not open the door or the floodgates for like an attorney, a Paul Harden or someone to sit on the Planning Commission.
No, it's designed for like your planning experts, your design experts, those types of folks. I don't think it was designed for attorneys or other sort of generic lobby type folks.
Okay, and with your knowledge, is there any concern or any type of door that this is opening that I'm not asking the right question? I just want to make, because I know once we open this, then Pandora's box, the genie's out of the bottle.
No, I mean, I don't think it doesn't present any legal concerns. Just the policy question for the city council is, do you want those types of experts on the Planning Commission? And one of the comments I heard earlier today was, yes, you do want people who know that field and are familiar with that field. Other than that, this basically resolves any potential conflict issue under that provision of the Ethics Code.
Awesome. Got it. Are there any other, Councilmember Gay, you recognize?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair to Mr. Reingold. Does this change the number of commissioners on the Planning Commission, or are we still staying with the same quantity?
Through the chair to Councilmember Gay, we do not change the quantity of the Planning Commission. We will still have the same number.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. So this just basically takes the zones away per se and kind of makes it at large, or they still have to come from those different zones, but they necessarily need one of these. They'll need one of these 4.
Back to the chair.
Yes.
So we will still have the zones and we'll still have the at-large. This will essentially add a second layer of analysis to someone. So you could see someone who is a District 4 member who is also a planner, or a District 3 person who's also a design expert. So you could have sort of both things in one person.
I get it. Councilmember Boylan, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair to Ms. Parola, I see her out there. If I could, through the chair, ask Ms. Parola, obviously it makes the path to commissioner work or serving on the commission a little more challenging in identifying what we characterize as qualified candidates. Ms. Parola, through the chair to Ms. Parola, is that a concern for you?
No, I think what this does is it would bring different disciplines to the Planning Commission. So as I understand it, at least 3 of the planning commissioners would have those types of disciplines in either design, planning, or related fields. So it would bring a level of expertise and understanding to the commissioners on what we as the planning department are presenting to them.
Well, as Mr. Reingold pointed out, I mentioned when Mr. Repass was coming through, I appreciated the fact that he's got the background and experience in it, so I think it's a good thing. I'm just concerned about the viability of finding qualified candidates and keeping the body full, which is always, sometimes can be a challenge. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
You just fell off. Yeah. Mr. Dennis, you recognize?
Through the chair to the Councilman Boylan and to the committee. So adding these layers, I just want to add on, but adding these layers doesn't require us to find someone in planning. But if a candidate was to come forward, they could have a planning and it doesn't KO them because they may do business or they may work for HAFS or an engineering firm, but they can't serve because of that conflict. So it basically kind of helps to actually add more candidates to the pool instead of less candidates.
Thank you. Councilmember Gay, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That kind of answers some of my questions I was going to ask. Is this a minimum amount where you can have more than 3? And why was 3 just selected?
Through the chair to Councilmember Gay, the language is that to the extent available, 3. So 3 of the 9 would have these expertise. Anyone above and beyond that may have potential conflict issues, but certainly 3 of them would have the protection. It's a policy question through the chair to Councilmember Gay. If you would like that number to be 4, 5, or less, 1 or 2.
Through the chair, no, I'm fine with that. I was just trying to understand the reasoning for identifying 3. Thank you.
All right, I don't see anyone else in the queue. Please open the ballot, record your vote.
Five yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you very much for your support today.
Thank you. I'll call you up on Ms. Dietrich. By your actions, you approved 2025-0540. Ms. Dietrich, you're recognized.
Laura Dietrich, Planning Commissioner, 1332 Avondale Avenue, Jacksonville, Florida, 32205. Also a Planning Commissioner and a expert planner in the field of economic development, urban and rural and regional planning. This is my second time on Planning Commission in the last 26 years as a former city planner, and I know I appreciate you, and I'm very grateful for what you've talked about and that you've already granted it, but I think there were some questions very quickly that you asked, and I just wanted to quickly respond to those. The impetus of this legislation that I drafted and presented to the mayor's office, city council members, OGC, and the planning staff is here before you simply because I believe it's an old oversight. The Historic Preservation Commission states, when available, 3 seats of that 7-person commission should go to, when available, people of the expertise in archaeology, architecture, history. The Planning Commission somehow has missed that language, and it's never been applied in the history of me formerly serving as a commissioner until it has only in the last 2 years that there was a new discovery of an old law that said, oh, wait, if there's a conflict only for a planning commissioner who happens to be an expert, which, by the way, has to be a resident of Jacksonville and in their district, whether it's at large or a district, right, especially a district, then instead of them submitting the 8B form, recusing themselves, and when I was an officer, we actually said that we needed to leave the room so there was no undue influence or intimidation. So now all of a sudden, instead of us submitting the 8B form and being able to do so, there's this new discovery where it says we have to quit. And I think that is a great disservice to the people of our expertise and this community that want to serve. So I have merely done the research to find that for consistency in policy for the city of Jacksonville, you need to have consistency. Therefore, this is not opening Pandora's box. It's merely making things consistent. If historic preservation is going to have 3 seats, then the Planning Commission should have 3 seats. So that way, those who are experts are able to serve their city and continue to stay on the commission without having to quit. It defeats the whole purpose and is counterintuitive finding people that actually have expertise in order to serve. So it's literally just allowing people that you've asked to serve to be able to serve without quitting.
No, thank you so much for that. One quick question. You mentioned the word conflict. What does that look like? And what does that mean?
Conflict would be, for example, I work with Half Associates. We are doing numerous things for the city. A lot of your Emerald Trail, Hogan's Creek, Hogan Street, all of the parks, Metro Park, but we're sub-consultants on that, right? So we don't directly benefit by your rules. However, if I have a project, for example, with a small business owner and trying to help them rezone their property so they can be successful in bringing their business to Jacksonville, I would have to first submit my 8B form and recuse myself. But because I'm also a planner and I work for a firm as a planner, this new discovery of this rule in the last 2 years says I don't get to submit my form anymore. I have to quit immediately. So that means you couldn't have anyone that lives here and does this for a living and sit on the commission because all of a sudden there's a counterintuitive rule that trumps the original rule of the 8B form and says you have to quit, forget it. Okay. So it doesn't make sense. So I'm basically just trying to clean up what I think is just a simple oversight. And that way to count through the chair to Councilmember Gay's question in that it's when available, 3 seats at most. So if you had 7 people sitting on a 9-member commission, that happen to be in some wide range of field of development, whether they're mortgage lenders or architects or what have you, only 3 seats at most would give that exception to those 3 folks that are designated when the mayor's office appoints those people, as those 3 seats would be covered by this ability to be required as an expert. Therefore, they could submit their 8B form, but they wouldn't have to quit. So it's only at the most 3, and that would be absolutely designated, no more than that. I believe through the chair to Mr.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We get it.
Thank you, sir.
Do we want to revisit it now? I'm joking. Item 2025-0546. Got a motion and a second on the bill. Councilmember Aris, are you here? No, I'm joking. All right, let's open the ballot, record your vote.
Five yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0546, 2025-0547. Seeing no one in the queue, open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0547, 2025-0548. Open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0548, 2025, item 23, 2025-0549. Motion and second on the bill. See no one in the queue, open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0549, 2025-0550. And a motion and second on the bill. Seeing, the queue's lighting up. Open the ballot and record your vote, please.
5 yeas, 0
Don't get it
nays.
too often. By your actions, you passed 2025-0550, item 25, 2025-0551. Got a motion and second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you approved 2025-0551, item 26, 2025-0552. Got a motion second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0552, item 27, 2025-0555. Got a motion second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By actions, you approved 2025-0555. We're deferring 29. Item 30, 2025-0558. Got a motion and a second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By actions, you've approved 2025-0559, 2025-0560. In the second? Oh, 559, I'm so sorry. Can I get a motion and a second on 2025-0559? Got a motion and a second on 2025-0559. Say no one in the queue. Please open the ballot, record your vote. Thank you.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By action, you approved 2025-0559, 2025-0560. Got a motion and a second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0560, item 33 on the amendment, 2025-0572. Got a motion and a second on the amendment. Can someone please explain the amendment?
Through the chair to the committee, the amendment will just add language clarifying that this is an alternate member.
Seeing no one in the queue, all in favor of the amendment, say aye. Those opposed have the same right. The amendment carries. Got a motion and a second on the bill as amended. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0572 as amended. Item 34, 2025-0573. Got a motion and a second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0573. We've taken up 35, taken up 36. Item 37, 2025-0576. Got a motion and a second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please. Did I skip one? Councilman Boylan, you recognize?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
We're on 35. Defer to 35.
On item number 37, 576, I'd like to be added as co-sponsor.
We're on item 37. My apologies, but item 35 was deferred. Yes, sir. Item 37, 2025-0576 has been moved. Councilmember Boylan has been asked to be added as a co-sponsor. I believe I've done so already as well. Councilmember Salem.
Would you add me, please?
Councilmember White, Councilmember Salem would like to be added. Let's open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0576. We've already gone through the seconds. Takes us to our next action item, page 22, item 48. 2025-0619. We got a motion and a second on the bill. Please open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0619. Item 49, 2025-0620. Got a motion and a second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0620. Takes to item 50, 2025-0621. Got a motion and a second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0621. Last item on the agenda, 2025-0622. Got a motion and a second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0622. We have three cards. Ms. Dietrich actually came and spoke on that last one. First speaker, and have 3 minutes, please, Mr. Blake Harper. He's on 2025-0557, and thank you for putting the bill that you're speaking on. Definitely asking that we, and you always do, but stay on the bill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chairman. It's such a great opportunity. I'm thanking everybody here for this new understanding of the First Amendment to be able to come down here and speak at the committees. Let me just review my resume with you before I go into what I'm telling you about. I graduated from Florida in 1980. I went to work for Flagship National Bank as a management training program in August of that year. I spent 20 years in commercial banking. I was a commercial loan officer. I had a lending limit of over $1 million. In the commercial lending business, there's something called loan review. Loan review is auditing. I was in charge of auditing. I was in charge of loan review. I was also, as a credit manager, responsible for auditing receivables lending and automobile lending, which involved titles and receivables and so forth. Folks, this resolution absolutely needs to be an ordinance. What we know of resolutions is there is no force of law. If you pass this as a resolution, then the resolution can be completely ignored by the mayor. That's the first thing. The second thing is you're not addressing state grants. State grants aren't in here. And you have some very large state grants. I'm thinking of one in particular I've been intimately involved with, that I use those skills that I have as a commercial lender to understand where things are and where they got to. So the reality of that is this needs to be pulled and turned into an ordinance, and you need to at least include state grants. But from what we saw here today with the micro grant, where the vice chairman had an ordinance passed and they didn't even honor the writing of that ordinance. So it's one of these things where I'm going like, if you all pass an ordinance, you pass something, why aren't people following what was passed by city council? And that's what we're getting to. And if the chairman of DOGE would like to see me in the green room or speak to me personally one-on-one, I'll be happy to discuss with him specifically what I'm dealing with. But the reality is you need to turn this into an ordinance, and you need to include state grants. You have the opportunity to do so, and if you don't, The fact that you didn't will be noted because you needed to. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Nooney. Name and address. And Ms. Nooney, I don't think you're going to get to all these bills you have listed here, but I got my tracker, so if you get offline, we'll definitely let you know.
All right. Hello. I am John J. Nooney. Jacksonville City Council Resolution 2023-0819. And, on the agenda, I just put, a number of bills. Got agenda item number 20, 2025-0546, 21, 2025-047. And, I can just go right down the line. But I'm down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And what I really want to share with all of you is, we do have the ability to make a movie through the Office of Economic Development, JSEB. And go to page 5 of 23, and we have 2025-0522. Now, that's an ordinance appropriating $1.2 million from the Building Inspection Fund. And this is going to be for electric chargers. I watched a meeting. There's going to be 18 of them. I mean, that's good stuff. And where I'm going with it is, JEA, JTA. And let me just remind all of you, this resilient Jacksonville thing. I'm in it 4 times. And one of the biggest takeaways is that public access on our waterways is the worst ever. But our place, and I'm just down to 1:30, but with that resolution 2023-0819, also ordinance 2025-0019, that's our find projects. And I've got to give it to Daryl Joseph, Jill Enns, Brian Burkett, our waterways. Out of 3 properties, and Councilman Boylan can jump in on this one as well. There are 3 properties right now in Jacksonville that are on the find potential land acquisition list. We're down to 50 seconds. And so I just want you to be aware that I've been going to JEA, JTA, and we're marketing to the world. It is happening. And so these potential fine land acquisition lists, the commissioners are fined, are dynamite. There are 12 commissioners, the East Coast of the state of Florida. And so anyway, it's rules. You see where this has been deferred. Doesn't say who deferred it. And, it's in rules to EU finance, but it's not neighborhoods or waterways. Just down to 3 seconds. This is positive.
Thank you, Mr. Nooney. And the previous bill
listening.
that Mr. Harper was mentioning has been deferred as well. And just to make note, it was an ordinance at one point, and I believe it was vetoed. And it's come back now in an ordinance, and it a resolution, and it removed a part of what was in the ordinance. So I'd encourage you to go do your homework on that, and you will find what was removed and better prepared for questions later. Councilmember Salem, you recognize.
Thank you. Through the chair to Mr. Dennis, I just wanted to let you know that whatever magic you worked, I have appointees appearing without an escort, so I'm not having to turn anybody away from my office, and that has worked very well. I don't know if you had anything to do with that, but the process is working well as we speak, and I wanted to thank you for all the work that you did.
Through the chair to Councilman Salem, as you know, the mayor has said over and over and over, we want to work together, to move this city forward. So whatever it takes, we'll do that. So thank you so much for sharing on the record that we've moved forward as it relates to that issue.
Jack's Business Journal. They just left. I think that was Jack's Business. Make sure y'all write about that, all right? There was a great exchange right there that would be good for coverage. It'd be good for the kids that are following what's happening in our city, that we do complement each other. We can be cordial. Unfortunately, we make the sausage in the public light, so it always gets put out there. That being said, Councilman White, were you in the queue?
I thought I was hearing Mr. Slade, but I got it.
All right, this meeting is adjourned.